All right, guys, so yesterday rather, we were using this paper. We were looking at the pH of different household substances, right? We had the different substances here, and you guys were finding the average and writing down the average of the different substances, the average pH, okay? Once you had that, then you organized that into a table over here, and you organized it from lowest pH to highest pH. Okay, so we have our title. We knew that, and this may be flipped. You may have liquids on this side. You may have like liquids on this side and the pH on the other, and that's fine. All right. So now we're going to take this information and we're going to put it in a graph. So that's why I give you your paper back. So I graphed mine in this orientation. I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom out. So stand it up. There's a thicker edge at the bottom, okay? All right, so I'm gonna start from the bottom and I'm gonna count 10 spaces up. So I'm gonna count 10 spaces from the bottom, and then I'm gonna draw my line. And I'm gonna draw it first with a pencil, and then I'm gonna go over it with a marker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm gonna make my line right here, 10 spaces. And then I'm gonna go over it with marker. And it doesn't matter what color you use. Ten spaces up. All right. And then so now I'm going to start labeling my y-axis, okay? And I'm gonna count by ones, but I'm gonna skip every other line. So let me zoom in. All right, so I'm gonna skip every other line, so this is gonna be, but I'm gonna number every other line, but I'm gonna put a notch. So every other line I'm numbering, but I'm putting a notch on every line. Okay, I don't know, can you see that? And I'm gonna go all the way up to 14. this is my y-axis. I put a notch on every line, but I numbered every other line, okay? And then I'm gonna go with my ruler and my marker. Okay, hopefully everybody has your graph looking like mine. Okay, we have our y-axis is labeled from 1 to 14, and I'm gonna label that as, well, I don't know if you wrote it down, maybe not. I'm gonna label that as PH. 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 All right, so now I'm gonna set up my x-axis, and I want you to be able to see the bottom. So I'm gonna turn my paper sideways, okay? I'm gonna turn my paper sideways, and on every other space, I'm going to label it, and I'm gonna start by numbering. So on our paper here, we had it numbered 1 through 10. I'm gonna number mine 1 through 10, but I'm gonna skip every other space. So I'm gonna number it 1, skip a space, 2, 3, skip a space, 4, every other space I'm skipping until I have all 10 numbered. That's what my paper looks like. So what am I going to put on each of these numbers? What should I label the bottom of my graph? What's my label gonna be? Household items. You could have the word substances. Some people wrote the word liquids. Choose one. So it's up to you. Okay. All right. So if you would take a minute, and I'll get you started, because some of you guys have not done this, so I'll start writing the first one. What was our first or lowest pH household item? Battery acid. So I'm gonna write battery acid here. Okay. So on every one you're going to list. So if you have not completed the work from yesterday, all you can do is battery acid, because that's the only one we're taking. So take a minute and write in all of your household items. Okay, so hopefully you have labeled 1 through 10 of your different household items, and they should be in order. from your paper from yesterday. Again, if you don't have this paper, please let me know, or you need to do this before you can do the graph. So we're gonna graph, so I'm gonna turn this way. We're gonna make a bar graph, okay? So where the word is gonna become a bar. So your bars should be spaced out with a space in between them. So if you look at our scale, then you'll see that we have a notch in between each number. So how much is that notch worth? 0.5. So this is 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, okay? I didn't want to write that because then it gets very clogged and congested, but be aware that this is 0.5, okay? So let's look at graphing our first one. And again, we're making a bar graph. All right, so battery acid, when I look, battery acid is 0.7. So Noah, go ahead and pay attention at this point, okay? Battery acid is 0.7. That's our first one. So I'm going to graph that. So I'm going to look at just this area right here. So this is okay. So this is 0.5. So I'm going to make my line a little bit above, but not quite half. That's almost half, okay? And then this is my bar. So I'm gonna grab a color, and it doesn't matter what color you choose. You can keep them all the same or all different, that's totally up to you. So it has to be above the 0.5, but below the 1. And you can color it in or put lines through it, what have you. I'm gonna show you one more, and then I'm gonna let you go. So our last one, our highest one was household bleach. That should be your number 10. Household bleach, what was the pH of household bleach? 12.6. So I need to go up. I'm going to use my ruler to help me. So I'm going to come over here to 12.6. That means it's going to be just a little bit over 0.5. And I need to go for my household bleach, which is right down here, and go up. And it's going to be just a little bit. Right above my line. And then I can go over that with my marker. And again, you can use the same one or a different one. It does not matter. This is not a color-coded one. But my line should be just above 12.5. All right, So you should have your graph set up. You're going to graph your remaining 8 liquids in the order that they should go in based on your paper from yesterday, okay? So you have your order. They should be written in that order. And you're going to graph them. We're making a bar graph. This will look similar to the 2 that we've done. Again, you can keep the colors the same or different. If I can have everybody look up for just 1 second. I don't want you to miss it. At the very top, so everybody should be looking up. Alejandro, you need to look up. The very top, we're gonna put our title. So don't forget that. At the very top, we're gonna put our title. So what is our title gonna be? Look at the title of our data table. pH of household substances, yes. So make sure you have your title written.